Name the best basketball players who ever lived. Jordan, Kareem, Wilt, that list has been frozen in stone for 40 years. Today, I'm gonna take a 22-year-old 3 seasons into his career and test him against that list category by category. But there's a rule: in every category, I only compare him to the players who were actually the best at that one thing. I'm not putting Michael Jordan in a shot blocking chart. That's how you lie with numbers. And one distinction that matters more than any other: greatest is a resume, rings longevity, best is a measurement of skill and dominance. Today we are not talking about resumes, we are measuring, and by that measure Victor Wembanyama may already be the best who has ever lived. Let me show you the math. This is Game is Culture. Quick thing before we dig in: if you like breakdowns that actually show the math, instead of just yelling takes, subscribe. It's free and it helps. Why is this even possible? The stakes. Victor Wembanyama is 7'4". With an 8-foot wingspan, he protects the rim like a classic giant, but he also dribbles and passes and shoots threes like a guard. In 75 years of professional basketball, no player has ever combined those things, so the question is not height, it's fair. And to answer it, I pulled every all-time leaderboard, but first the method, because you cannot just compare raw numbers. Different eras play at different speeds, and here's the thing most people get wrong: the 90s were actually slower than today, so we use per 100 possessions to neutralize pace. And rate stats, the share of shots or rebounds a player takes. Now the decades are comparable, and one number to anchor it all: box plus minus. The points a player adds per 100 possessions: a good starter is around 2, an all-star around 5, and a most valuable player around 9. Hold on to that scale. Category 1, rim protection. We start where he is most dominant. The fairest way to measure shot blocking is block percentage, the share of opponent shots a player personally erases. While he's on the floor, it ignores pace, it ignores minutes, it is pure rim protection. The all-time record belongs to Sean Bradley at 7.8. For 30 years, no one has touched it. Wembenyama's career mark is 9.9. He doesn't lead the category, he shatters it. To put that in context, Dikembe Mutombo won 4 Defensive Player Awards and made the Hall of Fame on a 6.3. Wembenyama is at nearly 10, and he hasn't done it for one fluke season. He has led the entire NBA in total blocks all 3 years he has played. This is the foundation of the case. Category 2, overall defense. Blocking is only part of it. To measure a full defense, we use defensive box plus minus, the points a player saves per 100 possession. The career leaders on this list are the defensive gods: David Robinson, Draymond Green, Ben Wallace, names built entirely on defense. And Wembenyama's career mark sits above all of them. And this past season, he didn't just lead one defensive stat, he led them all. Defensive rating, defensive box plus minus, and defensive win shares, first, and first. They gave him Defensive Player of the Year. Category 3, the rarest thing in the sport. Two-way value, almost every legend was great on one end. Jordan's offense, Mutombo's defense. To be the best ever, you have to be elite on both. So let's plot it. Offense across the bottom, defense up the side. The legends cluster against one wall, but Wembenyama sits alone in the top right corner. Elite offense and elite defense at the same time. That corner is supposed to be empty. The math says you have to give something up to be the best offense or the best defense. Wembenyama refuses to give either up. Category 4, scoring, adjusted for pace. Here we compare him to the scorers, and we use points per 100 possessions, so the fast 80s and the slow modern game are on even footing. At his peak, Wembenyama scores 41 per 100. That is higher than Michael Jordan's entire career rate, from a 7'4" center. Now in fairness, over a full career, Jordan still scores more. That's honest, but at his peak, a 7'4" center matched the greatest scorer who ever lived. per possession. That should not be possible, and it's not empty volume. Look at where those points come from. A third at the rim, but a third from 3, a 7'4" giant taking and making a guard shot diet, and he gets to the line like a guard. He draws shooting fouls 58% more often than a league average player. At 7'4", defenders simply cannot contest him cleanly. Category 5, efficiency. Relative to era, true shooting measures scoring efficiency, counting threes and free throws, and we use the plus version where 100 is exactly league average, so a high scorer in any decade is judged fairly. Kareem is the most efficient of these legends at 114, but Wembenyama at 108 beats Michael Jordan while carrying just as heavy a scoring load. And here's the tell, he uses 32% of his team's offense. That is a first option's workload. Usually efficiency collapses under that weight. His doesn't. Category 6, rebounding. And here I have to be honest with you, rebound percentage. The share of boards a player grabs and the specialists are ahead of him. Andre Drummond, Dennis Rodman, Wembenyama is strong, but he is not the best at this. And that is the point of doing this honestly. If I told you he was the best at everything, you shouldn't believe me. He is not a rebounding specialist, he is a rim protector who also rebounds. And even so, this year he still led the entire NBA in defensive rebound rate. Category 7, the skill, because none of this works without it. His shot chart at the rim, the mid-range, from 3 from the corner. A 7'4" center, efficient from every zone on the floor. The shot blockers on these lists could never do this. Real quick, if you've made it this far, you clearly like this stuff. The best thing you can do to help is hit subscribe. I'm not gonna beg, but I am going to ask. Category 8, total value, the all-in-one number. Player efficiency rating tries to capture everything a player does in a single number, and the all-time leaders of the biggest names in history. Jokic, Jordan, LeBron, and a 22-year-old 3 seasons in is already in their air at 25.7, top 15 all time, and win shares per 48 minutes. The value of every minute he is on the court. His peak season .257 would rank second all time, past Michael Jordan, behind only Jokic, and the simplest measure of all. When he is on the floor, the Spurs outscore opponents by 16 more points per 100 than when he sits. One player, a 16-point swing. Category 9, the one that changes everything, trajectory. Every legend on these lists is a finished product. We know exactly how good they got. Wembenyama is still climbing. Watch his efficiency rating by season. 23-24, then a leap to almost 30. His field goal percentage jumped from 46 to 51 in a single year. He didn't plateau, he accelerated, and he's 22. And maybe the most honest comparison of all, at the same age. Player efficiency rating at age 22. Not career, just what each legend was doing at his age. Jordan, Kareem, Anthony Davis, Wembenyama is already ahead of all of them. And remember, Jordan's age 22 was cut to 18 games by injury, so the bar is even higher. At the exact age Wembenyama is right now, no legend was better. Put every skill on one map against the league, and you find the thing that scouts fear most. There is no hole, no weakness to attack. He grades near the ceiling on almost everything. So let's put it together. The scorecard where he ranks all time category by category, rim protection first, defense first, value per minute second, impact top 15, efficiency beating Jordan, and rebounding strong but not the best. No player in the history of the sport has ever ranked this high in this many categories at the same time. That is the entire argument. Put it on one scale, the dominance index. I took the era-adjusted categories, scored each against the all-around legends, and combined them into one number out of 100, a measure of the complete player. Wembenyama scores a 68, Jordan a 50, Kareem 34, Hakeem 25. The most complete player in the room. Not because he beats them at any one thing. Jordan scored more, Kareem was more efficient, Rodman rebounded more, but nobody was elite at all of it at once. Now, let me argue against myself. The honest case against is real. It is only 3 seasons. Advanced metrics can overrate shot blockers, and he is not the best rebounder on this list. A skeptic has every right to wait, but here's the answer. Those metrics overrate defenders who can't score. He scores 25. The small sample is 3 straight years of leading the league, and every number is still going up. So, the verdict. The best shot blocker ever, the best defender in the group, a top 2 value per minute, a top 15 impact, efficient enough to beat Jordan, scoring like him at 7'4" on both ends at once. That player has never existed until now. But I promised you honesty, so here's the catch. Best is not greatest. He's played 3 seasons. One was cut short by a blood clot, and he has not won a championship. Yet, the legends have decades. He has a ceiling. The only thing missing is time. So here's the real question. The skill, the dominance, the era-adjusted numbers are already there. Is best about resume, or is best about how good you actually are? And if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to subscribe. We're in a race to 1,000 subscribers, so please join the family.